Adam, mate, what are we doing? What are we doing?
I don't know.
Here?
This is what I'm saying. I don't know.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Deep Drop. This is a fishing podcast, and if you're new here, welcome. It's great to have you on board. My name's Luke McCredden, and with me, as always, is my good friend and co-host, Adam Ring. Ads, please explain to the good people out there what the Deep Drop is all about.
The Deep Drop is a fishing podcast, as you said right off the top. Sort of. We take a few different tangents. We hit a few forks in the road. Are we going to go left? Or are we going to go right? We don't even know. But it's worth listening to because at the end of it, you're going to have a laugh. You're going to be relaxed. You're going to be motivated to go fishing because there are some little pockets and there are some little avenues that we take, Luke, where there's a little bit of knowledge there. We've been around a little while. We've done this in this game for a little bit. So we've snatched some knowledge here or there off some very, very good anglers over the years. And this is why we decided to start the Deep Drop, because we want to be able to regurgitate it, but also throw a little bit of extra sauce and see if we can squeeze a little bit more out of it. So that's what the Deep Drop is.
Yeah, well played. Well said. That is it. That summarises it well. We set out to have the conversations that you have in your boat ads, on the road, on a road trip, around a campfire, having a beer, just while you're wetting a line. You have these sorts of conversations that just sometimes go nowhere, or you come up with some crazy scenario or crazy answer in just some of these questions. It's kind of what we do. So, yeah. And we love having you along for the ride. And those that have been along for the ride for what is well over 120 episodes now, welcome back. Great to have you a part of it. The community is getting stronger, Adam. It is growing, and we love every minute of it. The interaction again this week across socials ads is sensational. We posed a few questions this week across on Instagram and TikTok and the like, and one of them was what is your most visited fishing website? Curious, just out of curiosity, I suppose. Ads, wasn't it? There were a few funny answers, but I think the weather app's got a fair run.
Fair.
Yeah, YouTube. I'm like, yeah,
yep,
fair.
Yeah,
That's also fair. Yeah. So Prawn Hub. Haven't checked that one out. Interesting one. So the other thing now, and I have to touch on this because a couple episodes ago, well, it was last week, I guess we asked a question about why is a squid jig like the size they are reference.
Yeah, because we know 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4, 1 point. We know them all. But what does it actually mean?
What does it mean? We gave our had our fair crack at trying to work it out on the fly, but absolutely gobsmacked. I suppose during the week where we had Marty Phillips reach out to explain, or he did some Googling and explained that the measurement. So it is a measurement. So 2.5, 3, 3.5. It is a measurement, which is kind of what I had in my head. But it didn't add up.
Yeah, it didn't make sense because you got the squid jigs out and the ruler
everything.
And tried to...
Yep. The math wasn't mathing.
Yeah, correct.
But what it is, for those who haven't seen, and jump across to Instagram if you want to have a look, it is the measurement from the eye of the squid jig to the back of the jig, excluding the barbs. So the back of the hard body.
Yeah.
Why?
Which is about the only bit that makes sense.
Why is it from the eye to the back? No fucking idea.
Well, this is the thing, and this question sums up what the Deep Drop is perfectly because we found an answer, Luke. And Marty, tip of the cap to you. Thanks for reaching out.
Yeah.
You're a superstar of a bloke, and
this is where the community just comes into their own.
And one of the regulars in the community that gets in touch to share their feedback and thoughts, and we love every second of it. But this is what the Deep Drop is. So we answered the question, Luke. The community answered the question. And you know all it's done is raise more questions.
It's raise more questions. Exactly.
And the only other question to ask is who in their right mind decided that when making a squid jig and measuring its length would start from the eye socket and not the tip of the actual nose of the squid jig. That makes no sense to me.
Correct.
I've got no idea why it'd be done like that. And I seem to think that there is a funny bastard at the conception of squid jig making that thought, I'm going to mess with people here and I'm going to do it this way.
Let's just role play it for a minute. Adam, you are the creator. You are the engineer of said product. It's new, never seen before. And I am, I guess, the marketing team in said business to try and work out how we take this to market. What have you got there, Ads?
This is a prawn style thing that I've hand carved to catch squid.
Oh wow! Okay, cool. So it's designed to catch squid. Is it just that size there, or are you going to do multiple?
No, multiple sizes, because one size would be boring. I think it makes sense that we did multiple sizes.
Great. What sizes are you going to? What are you going to do? What's going to be some of the common sizes? We'll say.
All of them, but I'm thinking to start maybe like a 2.5,
right,
and a 3.
And what are we talking? 2.5 inches, 3 inches? Is that what you're saying?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right. So from the one end of the jig to the other is 3 inches. Makes sense. Yeah, cool. We can go with that.
No.
What do you mean?
No. You're not picking up what I'm putting down. It'll be 2.5 inches.
Yeah, total length. That's fine.
No.
That's like every other lure in the market. That would be no.
No. Before I started, bit of backstory. Before I started designing squid jigs, I was actually a tournament brim fisher.
Right.
We don't work in overall length. We work in partial length. So it'll be 2.5 inches from the eye.
I'm out.
Not what you're expecting?
The investors have just stopped investing. So that's probably how it went down. That's just bizarre.
So it's a 2.5 inch and a 3 inch and a 3.5 inch partial length.
It's strange.
Because why not?
Because why not? Keep us guessing. So you can get all that sort of handy info and more across the Deep Drop socials: Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Spotify. I'm including that now into the social call-out ads.
It's legit.
It is a social platform, basically.
Yep.
If you didn't know, you can search for the Deep Drop, follow us, and comment. And like you could use that. If you didn't want any other social platforms, that you could just use that because you can get in touch with us on Spotify. It's wild.
That's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, it's cool. And people do. It's great. Hey, if you're using Spotify, you can also get the fishing tunes, the Deep Drop fishing tunes playlist. So,
and why wouldn't you?
Mate, I know you've updated that during the week and it is sounding good. So well done. The other place, obviously, you can check out and reach out and have a listen is the website, the deepdrop.au. Adam is the website to go to for all the podcast episodes, bit of info, a bit of backstory about us, and of course, some merch if you wanted to rep the merch, which is what I just tapped on. I understand this is an audio podcast, so people can't see me tapping on my hat. I've done that for 2 weeks in a row now. But it is, of course, the Deep Drop cap, Adam.
And listen, you are all listening, so let me be the one to bring you the description of the hat.
Yeah, please.
Solid cap.
Yep.
Solid cap.
Solid cap.
Just nice,
flex
beautiful, straight black, flex fit, curved peak, not flat because, we're over 40. So.
yeah. There comes a time you've got to start
beautiful,
curving.
Bright green Deep Drop logo on the front, mesh back because, hey, we need to cater for everybody. This is for the people that can go fishing, smack a few squid on partial length squid jigs, and then walk directly over to the pub without changing their cap.
Don't need to. Exactly.
You don't need to. Not with this cap, Luke.
That's very well said. Why not bundle that up with a stubby holder, which you are rocking right now, Adam, and as am I very shortly. And we'll combo that up for you. We'll cover the freight. Jump onto the deepdrop.au and rep it. Rep it, baby.
Rep it
Feels good. Thank you very much. So the deepdrop.au, everything you need to know on there, and you can shoot us some details if you want to get in touch and say hello as well. Now, as we go to drink of the week ads, in fact, we'll do drink of the week first, and then I'll just touch on something real quick. So just enlighten us. What are you rocking there, my friend?
I nearly let the team down tonight, Luke. I think I'm getting a cold. So I'm not really firing on all cylinders. I'm firing at a partial length.
Right.
And so I was going to go water, but I thought, you know what? I don't want to disappoint the community, and I don't want to disappoint Luke. So in my bright green stubby holder, I am repping a beautiful mid-strength beer.
Yeah, good.
And I'll probably just have one.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay too. It is okay. Something a bit different tonight for me, Adam. The stubby holder is there, and it'll have a beer in.
What? Hang on a
soon.
second.
But to kick
Hang
off,
on a sec.
What?
Actually, no, you go first.
What's your problem? I feel like you got a problem with this. As I pour
No, I don't at all.
a beautiful rosé.
You're pouring it. Okay, that's good.
I'm not drinking it from the bottle.
So for those listening along and playing along at home,
Yeah.
Luke and I could actually see each other, and all I saw was just a 3/4 empty bottle of wine, and I thought, oh, have I stepped into a beautiful podcast for this evening?
No. I'm classier than that, Ads. A little bit, just a little bit. It's a beautiful rosé from the wine regions there in the hills of New South Wales, and
It's a little bit sophisticated tonight.
well, that sometimes I go that way. Beautiful drop. Anyway,
Well, cheers to you, my
Well,
friend.
cheers to you. Cheers to everyone. Cheers to the community. Some say we should edit out the pause while we have a swig, but I say leave it in.
No, it's for atmosphere.
Hey, just one of the reasons I was going to just have a sip and something to talk to before we dive in. Special episode dropped last week, a second one for the week, I suppose you'd call it, and that was celebrating hook, line and sinker ads. And I just wanted to call it out because if you haven't seen it or you didn't get that, I suppose, notification or you were busy over the weekend, which fair enough, Adam, we caught up with Nick Digan and Andrew Hart on the back of what was the final episode of Hook, Line and Sinker ever after 25-something years and 300-ish episodes. I don't think we landed on the actual number of episodes, but
a lot.
an incredible journey that these guys have been on and what they've been able to produce year in, year out for 25 years is quite crazy to think about in the modern age. But they hung up the boots. Nick left the show a few years back, and Andrew kept it rolling. And what was a great couple of seasons to round out. But it was a pretty cool episode to have a chat to the boys, wasn't it?
Well, it was awesome to sit down and celebrate what was 25 years of Hook, Line and Sinker as it recently wrapped up. And it was good because it was just general chit-chat. We got to learn how they were feeling after wrapping up the show, what their plans are for the future. I think Diggs pretty well told us that as he walked out, spoiler alert, as he walked out 3/4 of the way through the podcast.
Yeah, that's worth checking out, actually. If you haven't heard it yet, jump on and have a listen because he quite literally, and for those that have followed Hook, Line and Sinker and Nick would know that he's moved into sort of Parliament type stuff going on, a bit of political type arrangements down there in Tassie, and he's doing quite well from all accounts. But I think he got
we caught him at a bad time.
I think he basically got got told you got to get in here. There's some big stuff going on down in Tassie at the moment, so he had to. We were trying to get him to take us in.
That's right.
He was got a bit nervous. I never heard him get that nervous. But anyway, have a listen. It was a great time and obviously a great opportunity to chat with the guys and, of what was an amazing television program for a long, long time. So thank you to Andrew and Nick for jumping on.
We even managed to get a top 6
we did
best
too.
moments
We
from
did.
Hardy for the last 25 years of Hook, Line and Sinker.
Yes, we did. So check it out. It's all available on Spotify and deepdrop.au.
Luke, I am struggling with something this week.
Oh.
And I need your help. I'm having
We're
a
here.
little bit of a crisis.
All right.
I think I've got too much on my plate.
Oh no. Talk to us.
As
In what regard?
Well, as yourself and all of our listeners would know, you and I are embarking on an adventure. It's a 12-month adventure based around...
Is this it? Is this what the problem is? You're panicking?
It is the problem. No, not yet
It's
panicking.
still
but
early.
I need
It's
some
still
help. I need some... No. It's got nothing to do with the scorecard as of yet. This is more...
Okay.
Yeah, there's a few... Listen, I'm pretty good at getting all up in my own head.
Right.
All right. So you and I, every month, and we'll continue to do this for the rest of the year, every month we nominate something that we want to tackle in the fishing space as a monthly resolution because yearly resolutions are for pussies. So we've decided to go monthly.
Yes.
Here's the issue, Luke.
Right.
We wrote off January because that was our
Yeah.
planning and announcement phase,
Yes.
and we're into it. And for those keeping score, I'm 1-0 behind. I'm very much aware of what's going on. So the weekend just gone, I had the opportunity to go fishing, and I thought, all right, I'm going to go.
You going for it?
Yeah. Here's my problem. Was I to load up the kayak and all the fishing gear to go and get a 40 centimetre brim out of Paddo, which was my March resolution?
Rezo, yep.
Was I going to load up the 9-footer and take a few slugs down to the beach and try and get a 2 kilo Sambo? April's one.
April Rezo, yep.
Because it's not strictly as per month. We got to tick them off over the year.
100%. Yeah, let's just clarify that again for anyone who's just finding out about monthly resos. We set a monthly resolution, but we have till the end of the year to tick them off. Yes.
Yep. And then maybe a case of piss on the winner between you and I, Luke. But that's okay.
Maybe.
I'm not worrying about
maybe.
that. Particularly,
there is. That's exactly what there is.
Well, until I'm a little bit close to the leaderboard, we'll see what happens. But so I had those two options, but then I'd also heard of a pretty nice EP bite somewhere. Look, I didn't know what to do. So do you know what I did?
What?
I stayed home and mowed the lawns.
That's not going to help you get on the scoreboard, mate.
How do I prioritise? Actually, not... All right, community, please reach out. What type of angler are you? I know some anglers that are fanatical, and they will cycle through different species, and while they're honed in on something, nothing else matters.
Yeah.
So whether they get obsessed with the kingfish bite that's recently and still going on in Victoria at the moment, nothing else is a possibility. There could be an absolute belter of a cod bite at Eildon. There could be a belter of a mulloway bite in the Nong. There could be just anything could happen, and it doesn't matter. They're going kingfish fishing because that's what they've got locked into their brain. And then you've got the other style of angler who just sees what the day brings and just goes, oh, I'm just going to go out onto Port Phillip Bay or Western Port and I'm just going to go fishing and catch whatever comes along.
Yep.
What type of angler are you? Because I am really struggling to prioritise what I not even should do.
Yeah.
But putting together a day's fishing when that comes around, with monthly resolutions and other things going on seasonally, I don't know what to do.
Well, yeah. I think...
Do you lock in? If you pick something, do you lock in and that's all you'll do?
I think you have to be somewhat flexible, don't you? I mean, perfect example of this was over the weekend, because as you know, my April resolution, because I've already done the March one, my April resolution was to catch a King George whiting on a soft plastic that is not a turtleback worm.
Yeah.
So I took the opportunity to go out just for a quick session. I reckon I felt good, ads. I reckon I've just ticked off a monthly reso. I've got a new one happening. I'm feeling good about it. Heaps of feedback from the community on different types of plastics I could use, which has been awesome. So I've loaded up the kit, grabbed some bits and pieces, headed out. The day was good. It was. I just jumped on the yak, so nothing crazy, and I only planned a few hours, and I just wanted to put the feelers out to see if I could just get a bite. Even if I don't tick off the reso, let's just get a bite on a few different styles to see what I'm going to really lock in on. And I couldn't even get a bite on a turtleback worm, ads. So my plan. Well, at least you
went.
My plan. Yeah, well, I got out there. My plan did change somewhat because it was a whiting session, a small, albeit short and sharp, to a flatty session. Because I caught one as bycatch, which I often do in this particular area I fish, and it was a nice chunky fella. So I went, I'm going to get a few of them for the table and just forget about whiting today. So,
but you went out with the plan.
Yeah, I did.
The yak was loaded. The tackle kit was loaded with the plastics that you wanted to muck around with, trying to knock off the reso. I'm struggling. You've
got to commit to getting out there, Adam. And I think we've said this before. Fishing is a great one for finding reasons not to go, and But
Well, you know what else is fucked, speaking of that? Is it a coincidence that every single time the weather is an absolute perler when I can go fishing, it's a fucking full moon?
the moon can get fucked if I'm just being honest about it, because it's ruined a couple of sessions of mine recently.
But it always seems to be calm when the moon's full.
yeah, that's the moon doing it.
Well, the moon can take a hike. Clearly, the moon isn't bloody partaking in a competition for a case of piss, knocking off little challenges.
You know what
per
else
month
is
because he's messing with mine.
You know what else is controversially a bit fucked? Dolphins.
Oh, yeah, that's an issue. Hey, for a split second, when you encountered said dolphins on the weekend, was there a little split second where you nearly did a little poo thinking it wasn't a dolphin?
No,
Did you see fin first? Or
no,
dolphin
no,
first?
I'm going to do my best dolphin here.
Oh, yeah.
You know that?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's a oh, what was okay, yeah, here they are. Yeah, great. There's 7,000 of them in a metre and a half of water. Just fucking, they might as well bring the netters back. There's only one thing that works. And I shouldn't say I love dolphins. They're great. Of course, when you see them, it's kind of cool. But at the same time, when you're in shallow water, it's like, oh, come on, guys.
Come on now.
They've just fucked it for a good hour. That's what I've found. I don't know if people have a different opinion on this. And I'm not talking about offshore sort of deep. So I'm talking about inshore, in shallow areas. I've found it shuts a bite down for about 45 minutes to an hour. Like, as in completely nothing. Like, everything just goes, fuck, I'm out of here.
Yes,
or it gets eaten.
Yeah.
Whiting, flathead, like, yeah. So it's almost like just go home. But so there's what we're challenged with, Adam, from a mental perspective. But I think, mate, you need to get out there. Listen, don't worry about. Think back of when you were doing Snapper Diaries ads. You just bloody got out there and did it.
I know.
Sort your shit out. Don't worry about your lawns. They're done now for a couple of months.
Well, but the answer, and I generally don't give two shits about the lawns, but the answer's staring me right in the face, and I still couldn't do it. Like the salmon one, just wait till winter when the weather's shit.
There you go. You've answered that. Okay, crossed off.
So, this is bad. All my brim stuff's rigged, ready to go.
Adam, mate, what are we doing? What are we doing?
I don't know.
Here?
This is what I'm saying. I don't know.
Maybe management's right. Maybe we do need a new co-host.
Pump the brakes.
Maybe. Do you want management to help out? Do you want him to do some fishing for you?
Not particularly.
No, I would have thought so. No, I just it's time to. You got to crack the whip on yourself. You're overthinking it. That's what you're doing.
I know I am.
Lock in.
I know I am.
To your brim reso. Fuck, we've only got another couple of weeks before we've got to set another reso.
I know.
So get on the board, mate. You're not gonna get a meter barra in the next couple of months. So just focus on your brim.
Wouldn't have thought so.
Focus on your brim. There you go.
All right.
Having said that,
don't. You're not making this easier.
Yeah, no, this is where it gets bad. Are you heading up the coast anytime soon? I'm talking east. I'm talking south coast, New South Wales.
I am, but I've got a plan for that.
Because
I've already got a plan for that.
Because anyone on that's following the Deep Drop on TikTok or Instagram will have seen you are loaded. You've got your arsenal ready. You've got some nice medals. Got some medals with spinners on them, by the way.
I've even got a little secret weapon that I'll expose later on.
Oh, Jesus. Is that what you say to all the ladies? So what I think you should do...
Sorry.
But it is a little secret.
Correct. I mean, no.
No. I mean, what? So that's fine. That's an easy one, right? So you make sure that your car is got a couple of 9-footers at the ready, rigged. Just rig them now and just have them on that hook keeper and fucking away you go.
Why?
That's it.
Why?
That's it. Simple.
In my brain, is it so hard when it's not?
It's simple. While you stay home, you're locked into brim. Once you hit the road, your brain's on salmon.
World's my oyster.
All right.
All right.
Or,
That's a good plan.
mate,
I'll write that
you know what you could do? you really want an easy win, well, easy's not the... Get to WA.
Fishing.
Get to WA.
Oh.
They're taking the piss, those salmon. The size of those things are crazy at the moment, and
I said 2 kilos, not 8.
And they're like they're not even a full cast. They're just like a little backhanded flick into the surf, and you
like
know.
A false cast. You know when you first cast and the braid's a bit fucked. Yeah.
How good's that? So back to your question, it's an interesting one. What type of angler are you? And we're going to pose this to the community because it's a fascinating question in its own right. I would say I've jumped around from being that locked in, nothing else matters type angler at times throughout my fishing sort of career. But I think now I'm a bit more open to whatever's
just see
what's
what
going.
happens.
Yeah, what's going.
As in not go with no plan, but just like a...
No, but it's more about what's...
I'll zip out the front from home and get a few whiting, a couple of flatties. If that goes down, I'll bang a couple of squid. I'm going to only get whiting. I'm going to only get whiting.
No. Because then the next day, we'll hit a river for some perch or something.
Yeah.
And then the next day, start thinking about, we should do a trip for yellow belly or, whatever. I'm a bit... that's the sort of angler I am. Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. In a good way. I don't mean that in a...
But I feel as though I need to change something.
I need
to lock in more.
Could we ask what sort of angler are you, but answer only in emojis? Because I've got one for you. It's the one that's, I think, and I need to double check it, but I think there's one where it's like heads like exploding because it's...
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, nailed it.
I feel like I need to find it in real time, which is terrible podcast. But
that's a really good. All right, so the tile will go up on socials. What type of angler are you? But we want you to answer specifically in emojis.
Yeah, you can use multiple. You don't have to. It doesn't have to be the one.
Paint the picture with emojis.
I can't find that. Maybe the one with like dizzy eyes or something.
Yeah.
No, there is a head of
I'm sure there is.
I just sent it to. I don't know why, but it's that one.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
For most people, it's mind blown. Something awesome just happened.
No.
Mine, it's my mind just melted because I can't decide on what I want to do.
So yours would be a double. It'd be the head explosion, then the dizzy eyes, just because you've just nearly passed out because you've just overthought it. It's way too much.
Yeah.
For me, I think I don't know what mine is. Just like maybe it's this one.
Oh, yeah, the shrug of the shoulders.
Shrug of the shoulders?
Yeah, just go with the flow.
Yeah. Okay, well, keep an eye out for that and get involved and share it around. I want you to ask all your friends what sort of angler they are in emoji form.
I feel as though we'll get some good ones, just saying. Because some people are a lot more creative than what I am.
Hey, Ads, you and I don't want to I don't want to fully spotlight you and put you in the headlights tonight. But I feel like a couple of weeks ago...
I just sent you an emoji of how I would describe my...
Can you send me one of how you describe me as an angler? What's that one? That's not me, is it? Is that you?
No. That's me.
Oh, God. Okay. Well, we won't be sharing that on the...
No, don't share that.
On the stream.
Sorry, what were you saying?
Well, the focus has been on you for the last 10 minutes or so, but I want to keep it on you for a minute because a few weeks back we opened up the Deep Drop Confessional, where it was a place where I felt like I could be open and honest and share some feelings and, just be real for a minute. And I explained how when it came to a bait caster, I'm shit. And that's okay.
It's okay. Safe space.
We haven't since opened the Deep Drop Confessional, but I just feel like tonight might be the night. You're in that zone at the moment. So have you got anything that you need the Deep Drop Confessional for? I think now's the time, mate. Like you've got a bit of a groove going tonight on opening up. So what do you think? Have you got anything for the Deep Drop Confessional?
Well, as a matter of fact, I do. And I think, Luke, this is why you and I work so well together, because you've read me like a book there. You could tell that something was up.
I could tell, yeah.
And,
Come on in.
Well, Dave Grohl said it best. I've got another confession to make. So cast your mind back a few weeks, and I brought to the table on the deep drop
Yeah.
a question about what would happen or what would you do or what's the etiquette if you're fishing with a mate and your old mate needs to duck out for a piss and his rod goes off.
Right. I do remember that. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yep.
Confession, I was the guy that grabbed the rod.
Oh, so this was a real life story that you held back saying that at the time.
Yeah, so this was a true story.
Wow.
Now, to the same guy, it's not the first time I've done it.
Wow. You're really,
I'm ashamed.
the booth is
Yeah,
hearing
I'm
it all
ashamed.
tonight.
So, quick backstory. A very, very close mate of mine, shout out to you, DC. When we were kids, and I'm talking like kids, we would go fishing together. Our dads would take us fishing, whatever. There was one trip where his old man took us to the Goulburn, and we're fishing with, from memory, we're fishing with maggots in the burley cages.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, his rod went off. I grabbed it. He was still there.
Well, what? As in he was still sitting right there, but you just hustled him out of the way.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then his old man backed me up and let me wind it in when he cracked it.
Oh, no.
But we were kids. We were kids.
And cracked it, and you
We were
went,
kids.
don't care.
Yeah, we were kids. Anyway, and there was a beautiful brown trout at the end of that, by the way. Fast forward many years
Yeah.
where we had our licenses. Anyway, DC, we decided we were going to go fishing. You're never going to believe this. Off the beach at night for gummy sharks.
Oh, shit. Is this real? Like,
I know.
is this the confession that you did it?
No. Yeah, that's right. So anyway, DC drove us down. We got stuck into the gummies on the beach. We got one. It was his rod when he nipped out for a piss. And he came back to me winding in, calling the whole way that it was just weed. Not sure. Anyway, bought a massive clump of weed up onto the beach with 2 eyes in it.
Yeah.
And drowned in weed was this beautiful little gummy shark that I wound in on his rod because he nipped out for a piss at the worst possible time.
Yeah.
So, Luke, confession, not only did I do that to him once, sorry, DC, I did it to you twice.
What's worse, when you were kids, when he was sitting right there, or when he buggered off for a bit of a leap in the sand dunes? I don't know.
Now,
But what's interesting is you were feeling out the community for their thoughts before you cared to tell us that, in fact, you were the perpetrator here and have grabbed said rod and brought in the fish.
Yeah, it was based on a true story, and I was that true story.
So
And
based on...
I had to get it off my chest. Because,
No, fair.
Because, Luke, no word of a lie. The vast majority of times that DC and I still catch up, we talk about both of those stories.
Good.
And
Good.
we have literally known each other. We were born in the same hospital 2 weeks apart, and we've known each other since then.
Far
And
out.
we still talk about those
talk
two
about-
stories more than anything else that we've been through in our lives.
Well, you know, as we've said all along with the Deep Drop Confessional, there'll be no judgment. But for a minute there...
Bullshit, that's not what your eyes just said.
For a minute
You
there...
were judging the shit out of me.
I was judging.
Rightly so.
I thought, what a little shit of a kid, you know?
But I had to get it off my chest, Luke, because I'm trying to be a better person.
I've restrained, I've pulled back, and I've gone, no, this is not the place of judgment. This is the house of, you know,
And I appreciate that.
openness and yeah. So that's okay. And I think that your honesty is felt amongst the community.
I don't feel
get,
great
if you
about
get
it.
back if you get backlash on social media about this, I'm not in
Then
control
I
of
will,
that.
and I will accept I will accept all criticism. I deserve it, but I feel as though I needed to let it out into the world in order to move on.
You got to own it.
And I hope I hope the world moves on with me.
Yeah.
Doubt it, but I hope they do.
What? Yeah, because you asked the question about, what do you do? What was going?
I was being
there
a bit cheeky?
Was there a moment during that situation where you thought, do I just leave the rod and wait till he gets back, or were you straight on it?
Oh no! Listen, truth be told, I wasn't straight on it because it wasn't a really distinctive bite. Yeah. It was like, maybe, not sure.
Yeah,
and there was more weight in weed than there was gummy shark on that rig, so it was
there
hard
actually
to
was
tell
weed.
the whole way. Oh yeah, no, that bit was true as well.
Yeah.
That's probably one of the toughest situations I've been in my whole life.
Well, you're doing all right.
Whether to wind it in or not.
Nah, fair.
Because, okay, so, hypothetically speaking, exact same scenario, but instead of 6 kilos of kelp and 4 kilos of gummy shark on it, it was just a 12-kilo gummy. And it screamed off. And you come back from having a piss and I go, mate, your shit's gone. We're not.
Yeah. Yeah.
But didn't want to be a shit bloke and grab it.
I think at the time when we spoke about this, I think case by case, but you grab it. I think you got to, especially when it's tough. You got it. The opportunity could be the only fish of the night. In fact, I believe that was.
It was.
I think you've got to, because as a team, you've got to make the most of those opportunities. That's where my, but because there's
that's all I need.
Because
that's all I need.
Yeah,
DC, if you're listening, Luke just said, and he said it best.
Nah, it's fine.
Get over it, bro.
Let it go. No, he's all right. He's got every right to not let it go. There's a moment in an angler's life, though, where there's potential that you get handed a rod with a fish on it. You can't be accepting that, can you?
No. Listen, as a fully grown adult.
Yeah.
You just refuse.
You have to refuse.
Yeah.
It's an awkward, it's insulting. Oh, it makes you feel bad, like shit. And it's not, no offense to the person in question trying to hand you a rod, but you're like, dude, come on. You're basically just telling me I'm the shittest angler of all time.
That's right. You want a piece of this?
Which you might be right, but
you know what? I don't need you telling me.
Yeah. Yeah. And
so that's my confession, Luke.
Good.
That question and story was based on true events.
Oh, I love it.
And I was the guy grabbing the rod.
And I'm still not sure that everyone's on side, so we'll let the community deal with that in their own time and get back to us.
And that's fine. Yep, that's fine. I am. I'm happy to accept what's coming my way. I deserve it, but I felt as though I needed to put it out there.
That's okay.
To move on.
Good. Appreciate it. Well, there you go. We might. Yeah. Oh, look, I think we'll be back in the Deep Drop Confessional booth numerous times throughout the course of the year.
Yeah.
But as we always say, if there's anything that you want to get off your chest, I'm talking to you, community.
It's a safe space.
Send us a message. Send us a voice message. Do whatever you feel like you need to do. We can change your name if you need. We can alter your voice if we really need to. Yeah. Let us know. It's a safe space.
It's a safe-ish space.
Have you had the last?
We might have a little bit of a chuckle, but
yeah,
ultimately you'll be okayed.
Yeah, like there's only a couple of live baits left. Have you put your hand in to grab one? One's belly up, so you've grabbed the good one and left the shit one. That sort of stuff. Yeah. But even like it could be as simple as, have you gone for a lolly snake from the bag? There's only a few left, so you've just fucking grabbed them all, and then gone, fuck, none left.
Didn't realise there was none left. Or did you? Yeah. Or were you in charge of burley and only burleyed on like your side of proceedings, whether it's the boat or the bank?
Or have you had rods in the rod holders? Might be 4 of, and there's a few of you on board. You've seen one that's, it's snagged. Yeah. So you've kind of just backed away and let someone else grab it, and you're like, oh, have you on? Oh, it's a snag. Fuck. Oh, well, you deal with that.
Have you been getting pants that bad by your fishing buddy that you've faked a few bites
Yeah.
just to just
Yeah.
to make it look like when you've had nothing.
But then
Not a sniff. Your mate's caught 6 or 7. You haven't even got a bite, and you just
Yeah. But then really lent
sneaky.
into it. Nah, that was
that was a proper.
no, that
hit.
was proper. That was
Good
a
hit.
proper. That was a good. That was 50 plus. Like whatever fish it was, it doesn't matter. You know, because you're just at the point where you're like, I'm not just going to go. Oh, it might have been a bite. You just got to go. Yeah, that was it. That was the one. Fuck, that was the one. I dropped it. Fuck. Whatever it is, let us know, because this is a safe space. We talk about that all the time, ads. You know, there was opportunity to judge you then, and I refrained. I pulled back, restrained myself. Said, it's a
I
safe
appreciate
space.
that. I appreciate it.
You know what? We've spoken about fishing a lot as a sport, because that's what we see it as.
Yep,
It's a hobby
international
pastime,
sport.
but we see it as a sport.
It's
We've spoken over the journey about things like Olympic Games, and it's no brainer. But
And it'll
obviously the
happen.
IOC, but whenever
Listen, I expect to be the flag bearer when that happens. Just saying. Us.
Fuck, that was a very quick me moment.
Hey, this podcast has been all about me so far.
Yeah, nah, fair enough. It has too. Would the flag? What would you sort of add something to it? Would you sort of maybe what?
Wouldn't even be subtle.
What would it be? What would it be? What
The
would
front
you
would be the classic Australian flag.
do? Yeah.
Union Jack, Southern Cross, the whole box and friggin' dice, mate. Australia, proud as. The back, big fuck off deep drop symbol. That's what would happen.
Thank you. Yeah, I was hoping for that. I wasn't even thinking flag. I was thinking more the pole. So
No,
as you wave it, you've got almost a little
Nah, back of the flag.
glow in the dark fucking deep drop logo on the top of the pole or something. But yeah, okay.
Back of the flag.
Good. No, that's all right. You can rep the flag. That's fine. But what I wanted to discuss, because obviously we've just had one, and I'm not. I apologise to everyone out there listening that are fans of the US bass scene. I'm not across it fully, and I know you're probably across it more than me, ads. But it's such a massive event, those weigh-ins.
Yep.
It's borderline spectator sport, but it's not, because you can't really spectate the fishing itself. I guess in a roundabout way, where I was going with it is, can fishing ever be a spectator sport, and how? And I just wanted to table it, and we can try and have a bit of a crack at breaking it down. I'm sure you've got some wise words to it. But I think about, you know how I always reference fishing and golf kind of similar in a lot of ways, like in a lot of roundabout. Have you seen TGL golf, which is now it's like indoor, like Tiger Woods and that are playing it. Like it's arena golf, basically.
No shit.
Yeah, like their Rod Laver Arena, right? Or,
Yeah.
SoFi Stadium actually was where it was in the
okay.
States. Yeah. And when I say where it was, I think there's been multiple now, but that I think was the first actual event. And it's Tiger Woods. It's all the fucking, all the bigwigs.
Okay.
And I'll get you to check this out.
How does it work?
At a later date. So they're hitting, like you can imagine with X Golf, where you hit into a screen, and it's like that, but on steroids. Like it's, it's this huge thing, and there's multiple surfaces. So it's like the tee box is actual turf and obviously a tee, but then there's different you'll hit onto the fairway. So the next place you hit from is fairway grass. Like it's boxes of it that you'll go stand, or it'll come out and you hit off that. Equally in the rough or in the bunker or whatever. So you've got to hit from those surfaces into the screen. Once you land on the green, I feel like this isn't what I was going to go into, by the way, but now we're talking about it.
We're here.
The ball is basically... there's a light. So the green is behind you essentially while you're playing. And once you get onto the green, you turn around and the green's there. And there's a light that shows where your ball has landed. So you place your ball there and finish the hole. When you go to the next hole, that green, and it's a real green, like real grass that's been, it actually has all sorts of different levels and motors under it that it changes and it transforms into a different contour and a different slope so it's a different green for the next hole.
Shit.
It's wild, man. Like it's crazy. It's so cool, and best of all, you fill a stadium to watch. weather isn't an issue, and people just love it because they can watch their favourite golfers play a round of golf while sitting there having a beer. Like, fuck. Anyway, I understand the variables in fishing and golf in that regard, so I'm not saying that that's going to happen. What I am saying is we've gotten to the point now where golf has become an arena sport.
Yep.
How does fishing become more of a spectator sport? I'm not suggesting it'll be in an arena. I'm not writing it off, by the way. But how does it become more of a spectator sport globally? So we know that it's the biggest probably in the States. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe parts of Asia it's bigger, Japan and whatever. But US is bigger in the tournament scene than Australia. So I'm just sort of leaning into that a bit. We know the weigh-ins are epic. They're in an arena for a lot of the time. Yep. Well, have been. But the fishing itself, like, you know what I mean? Is it ever going to be doable where they basically have a lake with grandstands at certain parts of the lake? Maybe you can move around like you do in golf when it's out in a real course, how you can sort of follow an angler. Is there ever a thing where we'll get to a point where fishing can become a spectator sport?
Oh, I'd love to see it. Could you imagine? I wonder how big would a stadium need to be if you were going to enclose a fishable lake?
MCG?
With how many people do you reckon? How many seats do you reckon you'd have to have?
Oh, well,
20,000, or
I was going to say
100,000?
No, 20,000. Let's say because that's about Rod Laver, I think, isn't it? About that ish,
Yeah,
or is it more? But let's call it 20,000.
Anyway, yeah,
big crowd. I'm a Melbourne supporter, mate. 20,000's a massive crowd for me.
How would you make it intimate enough that it would be exciting as a crowd member?
Can you imagine a hookup? Yeah. Be fucking unbelievable.
Well, see, the other thing, so use the golf thing as an example.
Yep.
There's a digital part to this.
Yes. Yeah.
So is there a way that we can digitize some of the fishing experience?
Because that's the thing, right? We're dealing with another factor in being fish that we can't control. Do you know what I mean?
Actually,
so in stadium golf, you could technically control weather, surfaces, everything, all the elements. Fishing's still got an element that we'll never be able to control, which is the fish.
Do you think there's a way that we could incorporate virtual reality in the fact that, say, each angler had a headset, but
so you could sort of be the angler.
Yeah, so you would say turn up and you'd have your field of anglers. They've all got headsets on. They've all got, I don't know, a 10-meter stretch.
Yep.
So they still have to physically cast. So you're still getting the skill of per angler.
Yeah.
But it's in a digitized environment. Would that be really engaging as a fan in the stands? Probably not.
I'm thinking more that real, you're in touch, the crowd noise is there. Like, obviously, there'd have to be an element of cheer when there's a hookup, but all the other times, like in tennis, quiet please.
Ooh, okay.
So, like if you hit a big drive down the fairway on a golf course, the crowd goes mental, right? But in between that, it's like, shut the fuck up. Like, they're concentrating. If there's a big ace served at bloody Wimbledon, they go crazy. So that's what I'm thinking. It's like real-time reactions from crowds because you can't beat that.
Yeah, that's true.
I
don't know how you would get it in a fishing scenario.
Oh, hookup.
Especially because, hookups. But
bust-offs? You just hear the crowd, ooh.
But I feel as though even the hookup wouldn't be the same as, say, a golfer smoking a drive off the tee because there's that split second you don't know if it's a good fish or not. Or what if it's a short strike? It strikes and the angler sets a hook and nothing happens.
Just be a
Just completely misses
yeah,
it.
but that's what I mean. That's where that crowd reaction is. It's like, when you're at the footy, and you've got a midfielder bursting through the middle and just launches into from 50, and it's online, and it's like, fuck yeah, and then it just drifts late and hits the post.
Yeah. And everyone goes, yeah.
Exactly. And can you imagine there'd become like a cult sort of thing that the first cast of the day is just like a fuck yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like,
How would you bring in think basketball, think like 6 seconds to go, down 1, 2 free throws.
yeah,
How do you recreate that pressure
yeah,
for an angler? As in, like, I want to see anglers just put a cast on a fork snag right on the money with like, yeah.
it's got to be like
because I also want to see
time.
the angler overshoot
Yeah.
red time, snag up and out.
So like red time fishing, it's like, overtime in basketball. You're right. There's 6 seconds to go. They're coming back out of a timeout. There's got to be some leeway in what they can, when the crowd can just launch and start being loud.
Yeah.
And it's like when the clock's got a minute to go, 5 minutes even. That the gates are open. You can make as much noise as you want in the crowd, because we got to ride this thing home. There's an angler who's short 2.5 pounds. There's live scoreboards. Anglers can see other anglers' scores.
Can see it. Yes,
wherever
yes.
they are, or it's even a pop up on their sounder.
Yep.
They know, the crowd knows. They're looking at the apps going, fuck, one more fish, he's home. One more fish, he takes home $1 million. So it's just...
So do we think we need to change the format of... So, all right, I think we just need to tweak what's going on. I still don't know how to bring it into an arena environment to get the full atmosphere, but as far as getting the people engaged and off their heads, live scoreboard as it happens would be mad. But I think it's got to be, rather than having to bring back in for a weigh-in, I feel as though everything needs to happen live as it
Real
goes.
time. Yeah.
So the tournament goes for 8 hours, and at 6 hours and 30 minutes, you've got your top 3 that might be within a couple of fish, or we're not fishing for time. There's no time. We're fishing to a specific limit, whether that but that's hard because sometimes fish don't fucking bite. I don't know. There's something there. There's something there, but
I've got an idea on and I sort of touched on it before, but for the arena sort of, I suppose, atmosphere, maybe it's not. Maybe we take the arena to the lakes or the rivers. So you've got a dedicated, I don't know, whatever the lake, let's call it. Again, I'm sort of in my head, I'm thinking the Bassmasters or whatever. And I know those lakes are enormous, hence why the boats are so powerful to get from A to B. But what if there's a tournament where it's not that big and there's less anglers? So it might not be a...
So it's like the T20 of Bassmaster Classic.
Thank you very much. That's where I was going. That's exactly where I was going. So instead of, I don't know, how many boats, how many anglers are in those big tournaments? Shitloads?
Lots, yeah.
Let's say there's a dozen instead of 30.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
Or 50. Let's say there's a dozen. It's a shootout, whatever you want to call it.
Yes.
The lake is quite small.
Yep.
To the point where the key spots on the lake, so it might be in 10 different spots on this lake, there's a grandstand that's been a pop-up grandstand.
Ooh.
I'm not talking about an MCG Great Southern Stand, by the way.
No.
I'm talking about something that holds maybe 1,000 people.
Yeah, I'm feeling what you're putting down.
A few hundred people, whatever. And that's where you buy tickets to that snag, basically.
Because imagine being on the other side of the lake and you hear the opposite grandstand go fucking mental.
Yeah, exactly. This is it. It's a T20 of fishing.
Ooh, I like it. I wonder what size lake you could get away with for half a dozen anglers and the fishing still be good enough to be exciting.
Yeah. And don't come at me with, if you're an angler, don't come at me with, it's, It's not. It shouldn't be this way. This is the
how
way
good are
cricket. It's the way that cricket developed, right? Yeah, all the old timers were like, one day internationals, fucking that's ridiculous. They're wearing pajamas as uniforms. That's ridiculous, mate. It's now formed into a T20, which is fucking half of a one day international, and people love it.
Yep. Oh,
And if you're not into it, that's cool. If you're
That's
not,
fine.
if you're a traditionalist and that's not your thing, cool. But hey, this opens up the gate to a whole new group of anglers.
I love this. There's something there. The hardest bit to conquer would still be getting any form of atmosphere. That's why I wonder, hence my question, how big could a lake be?
Yeah.
Like, could you
do it at Eildon?
Well, could you create something where it is only the size of the MCG and the ground is said lake with points, contours, snags, tailor-made?
So completely man-made.
Yep, completely man-made. It's tailor-made for fishing habitat, and there's only X amount of fish stocked in there. Maybe you can only have 3 anglers on it. Maybe it's only 2, and it's a 2-person shootout, and it's a round robin style.
Add Marvel Stadium's roof, and you don't have a weather issue anymore.
Correct. Like you've only got two anglers that only fish in 2-hour increments. It's just a straight shootout. Overall length wins. It's a round robin.
Mate.
You could run it over a season. You'd still get atmosphere.
How they reckon they used to fill the Colosseum with water? Did you? I mean, historians in the community, let me know if I'm making this up. I'm sure that they used to fill this. No, I think it was a thing that the Romans would fill it, and that was part of the. Yeah. Anyway, so they did it. They fucking did it.
And because it's completely man-made, each round there's a different species of fish goes in there. So you might find that you've got everyone gets up and about for the largemouth bass because they're that perfect mix between aggression and being hard to catch. And then you've got like just a shootout round where there's a fish in there that's dumb as fuck and they're real easy to catch. So it's just constant high action. And then you've got another one that's just like wild to look at but impossibly hard to catch, and one fish could take out that round.
Dude.
It could be pretty mad.
It'd be unbelievable. And just go with us on it. We know it's probably not going to happen.
No,
why not?
Screens. We want screens. We want drones flying around the anglers so that you're up close and personal.
So picture, all right, picture, just to wrap this up, I want everyone to picture a stadium like Marvel Stadium, which is smaller than the MCG, but still holds, 40? Something like that? 60? I don't know what it is.
Yeah, but anyway.
But even if it was small, whatever. Or your local sort of, I suppose, arena where concerts are and shit. So 20,000 capacity, whatever. Picture that with the size of a footy field that's basically dug out. It's a lake.
It's a lake.
There's snags. There's fucking shit.
Gravel beds.
Yeah, everything.
There's points.
Because it's man-made. Everything. It's got deep holes. It's got shallow beds. It's got flats. It's got, to a degree. And it's stocked a week out, maybe 2, whatever it is. I don't know what it is.
Yep.
I don't care. But make it happen.
Matter. Whatever.
And it's just game on. So there's an element of... Is the crowd maybe, are there sound barriers? So the crowd noise doesn't affect the fishing too much.
No, it should. Fuck it. It's
should.
T20.
No, it should. It's T20 fishing. Make some noise. Get behind it. And it's loaded. Like, it's got plenty of fish in there. We're not making it that hard. Like, we want to see results. So if there's 4 anglers or, 4 boats at a time, max, we want everyone catching. We want it coming down to the wire. We want it to be able to. You can see the boat across the field, so to speak.
Yep.
You can also see the 6 scoreboard because it's going to be. There's not 2 screens. Fuck that. There's 6 of them.
No, it's loaded.
And the jumbotron in the middle.
Jumbotron in the middle. Yes.
With full stats, everything. How many casts per bite? Like full everything. Yeah.
Yes, advanced stats. Yes. You're talking about language.
Yeah. Adam Ring, 27 casts. Accuracy. There'll be cast accuracy.
2 bites, 1 fish. So you can make an analytic case that I'm actually a really shit angler, but when I get a bite, I tend to stick them. And then you've got the other anglers that get loads and loads of bites.
11 bites, one fish. And you go, well,
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, they're
you
getting
can find
bites.
him, but he can't fucking catch him.
It's not converting. Adam converts.
This is big.
So I'll take Adam. And, mate, there is a TAB.
100.
Like, multiple.
There's Ladbrokes.
Oh, mate, there's all of them. They're all around. There's bookies. We're going old school. There's fucking bookies standing on a pedestal.
Please vote. Please gamble responsibly.
Gamble responsibly. Or don't at all.
Just load up.
Fuck. Like, I'll take Adam Ring with that bite. You know, that he's turning a bite into a fish 50% of the time, whereas old mate, 10% of the time, not interested.
Yeah. Oh. Don't mind it. Put it. Luke, we've come up with some pretty funky shit on this pod, and I think this is up there.
Can we talk to Nick Duigan about taking that to Parliament? Because I think they were talking about the Tassie Stadium. If footy's not your thing down there, fuck, we can fill that bad boy
we'll go
with
fishing instead.
Barra.
Yeah. Mate.
So I started this, I guess, conversation as golf's, you know, there is now in-stadium golf, arena golf, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Could fishing ever really do that? Probably not. We've turned that into fucking absolutely. We just need an investor with billions of dollars. Just Elon? Come on.
But I wonder if you could take it a step further and you just build specific stadiums for this all around the country that you can pay to fish on any day of the week. So the punter can go and fish them.
Oh, okay.
But it hosts the event, get restocked with fish. There's a lockout period that no one can fish it for 4 weeks.
Do you know what happens now? Do you know what happens now as well? Now you've got these man-made fisheries. All of a sudden, fishing lessons are a thing.
Piss. School there, like, mate. Lock it in.
Sometimes blows my mind how many good ideas we have on this podcast, Adam.
Lock it in.
I feel like that's not the end of this conversation. I think it's going to resurface in the next couple of weeks.
With a solid pitch.
I love this shit. Fuck. All right.
That's awesome.
Spectator sport. Fucking
arena fishing.
I'm glad I brought that to the table. Arena fishing.
That's big.
Can you imagine the bright green fucking LED screens with the Deep Drop logo all over it?
It's the future.
And
like
you cannot tell me that the advertisers wouldn't be fucking all over that. They want a piece of that. You know, because in those stadiums how much companies pay for their signage, LED signage, and all that sort of shit.
Yep,
mate. Because not only will we get 20,000 a night, and the sponsors will be all over it, you cannot tell me that Fox Sports aren't picking this up.
Oh, it's
ESPN, whoever wants it, come at me with your highest bid.
Let the bidding begin.
Yeah, Channel 7. I don't know. Throw your hat in the ring. How much money you got?
How long do you want? 6, 7, 10 years, whatever. We'll lock it in. Show us the cash.
So we might talk like we might sort of say that it's ridiculous because it'll cost a billions and billions, which it will.
It will.
Mate, we might recoup that in season 1.
Fuck. It seems. Oh, Luke.
I don't know. Do I quit my job now or later? Because this is just set me up for life. Yeah. Who wants to be a part of arena fishing?
Just say yes. Just say yes.
All right. Oh Jesus, I'll be up all night thinking about arena fishing.
I don't know how do we go from don't know how this could work to literally like
it can't not work.
Well, this needs to be sorted out. Who's got the Olympics next? Like,
can you think
what better way to introduce fishing to the Olympics than arena fishing?
Thank you. I mean, it's built for it.
It's meant to be.
And Winter Olympics, sure. We'll do summer and winter.
Whatever.
Fucking hell. Thank you, Adam. This is what we do. This is why we do it. This is why we do it. The bars will be buzzing, you know.
Oh, that'd be.
And don't give me. There's no fucking dry zones. Don't give me that shit.
No, and it won't be $16 a beer. We're here to have a good time.
No,
we're going to be loaded up on cash with sponsors and TV rights deals anyway. So the spectators themselves, this sport's for them.
It's for the. Thank you. That's exactly what it's for. The beers are basically at wholesale. Like we're not even going to
whatever.
We don't care about profit on beer at this point.
No, we just want people to have a good time and enjoy some arena fishing.
Make some fucking noise because we're not. Yeah. I've doubled back on the quiet please situation. No.
Yeah, no. Bring it.
All right, good. We got it. We have to move on.
We got there.
I mean, wow. And that's not the end of it. We're coming back at some point. But ads, it is time though that we visit one of our favourite, I suppose our favourite segments. It's becoming one of our favourite segments on the Deep Drop podcast, which is the top 6.
The Deep Drop.
Top 6. That's a big statement, right? Like that there. Last little run on the snare and then smash into the cymbals. I love that shit. I'm all over that. That's a good air drum song, that one.
It is. Belter.
Top 6 ads. Sorry, I'm buzzing from arena fishing. I'm not gonna lie. But we must move on and really we couldn't deny that tonight's top 6 couldn't be Easter themed, given we are in the lead up to Easter. It's only a stone's throw away as you listen to this podcast. So Adam, tonight, why wouldn't we go with the top 6 Easter eggs?
There's been some belters over the years, Luke, and I'm very interested to see what will feature for your part of top 6 because there's a couple of different ways you could go. You could go full nostalgic because there was some Easter eggs that were some absolute classics around when we were kids, or we could go a little bit more modern. So I'm very interested to see where this top 6 takes us. Right.
Well, I'm more than happy to hand over to you, my friend, to kick off the top 6 Easter eggs tonight. Adam, ring.
I'm going to ease us in with an easy one. Number 1, just the Cadbury milk chocolate Easter egg. Plain. It's the one you put out for the kids in the Easter egg hunt. It's the one that you find 3 years after Easter because they didn't find all of them. It's the one that sits on the bench and you walk past and take 2 every single time. Not the real little mini ones. I'm talking the hollow, you know what I mean? Just nice, solid,
the ones you can eat in one bite.
Yep.
Or smash on your head. Doesn't hurt because they're not that thick.
Yep.
You can, good.
Pick them at the kids.
What are we calling that? Just your stock standard hollow bloody.
You're just your standard Cadbury milk chocolate Easter egg.
Yeah, your standard.
I'm going to ease in top 6 with a nice easy one, a classic.
Yeah, and look, no arguments from anyone. I think that's yeah. Well, I for me, I mean, this is the first one that comes to mind. It's just got yum written all over it. So, number 2, the cream egg. You know the one I'm talking about? You bite into that bad boy and it just oozes everywhere.
I know it very well. My oldest daughter froths on them. I'm going to throw something out there. Not a fan.
Oh wow! And that's okay, but not sure.
I think I'm about the only one in Australia.
Yeah, okay. No, but that's okay. Each to their own.
No, but respectable choice, and it's a very popular Easter item, and one that deserves to be on the top 6. Oh, no, I do genuinely think it deserves to be on there.
Yeah, but it's also one, I will say, that after 3, you could vomit. Ooh. Like, they're very rich, you know what I'm saying?
They're dense.
Yeah, they're dense. They are dense. Yeah. Okay.
I like it, though. Number 3. The crunchy Cadbury egg. Now, I'll leave this one open to the viewer. Whether it's the hollow one like the first one I rattled off for the list, or whether it's the mini solid ones with the crunchy pieces in it, you can't go wrong.
Either
Insanely Moorish. You won't just eat 3, like the Cadbury cream egg. Yeah. You'll eat the box, the bag, whatever.
This was on my list. I had in mind the sort of more the bigger. I don't know. Yeah. What would you call that? You sort of
like a small football. Like you're not sure whether you want to eat it or kick it. That one.
Yeah. So you sort of do both, just to crack it and then just hoe into it.
Yeah.
I love that. Well done. Your list is very much mirroring mine at the moment, so I'm worried I'm going to run out. But nevertheless, and listen, for this one, I'm going back. But I'm still partial to one.
All right, I'm interested. Go. Because if it's what I'm thinking, it's going to be a spin out.
You might think I'm a bit of a dick here. Number 4, The Humpty Dumpty egg.
It's
full
exactly
of
what I was
Smarties.
thinking, and it had the Smarties in it. Are you kidding me? I did set. That's exactly what I was thinking about. And because even the foil that it come in is not like the shit foil that you get on them.
It's like more molded. It's more,
and it was hard and no way.
Wow, you and I
No way.
weirdly think the same with the weird shit. Like it's a bit scary.
Can you still get those Humpty Dumpty eggs?
I reckon you can, mate. And if you can't, shame on whoever is fucking producing them because
Get it happening.
Get it happening. Well, that's throwing a spanner in the works.
That's big.
Oh, all right.
Oh, I love it. I love that. All right. Number 5. Caramel anything. Big, small, gigantic, not even an Easter egg. Don't care.
But
Caramel.
for the sake of the top 6 Easter eggs, caramel is what you're going with. Yeah, not bad.
I'm a fan. Took me a while to get there. I wasn't an instant fan of caramel. I will preface with that, but I have grown to be a caramel lover, especially around Easter time.
Fiend.
Fiend.
Also rich. So you got
Very rich.
you can't go too hard.
can't go
well, you
insane on
can,
them.
but you'll feel very sick. Very quickly.
Yeah.
No,
It's a nice one to break up the other Easter eggs.
Oh, okay. It's
Like
it's
a
your,
palate cleanser.
it's kind of your what did we talk about in Drink of the Week recently? Ginger beer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect for a change up.
To break it up. Okay. All right. Good. All right. Well, I'm going to round out tonight, and I don't know how you'll feel or the community will feel, but they're a bit of a favourite in this household. So number 6 is the mini egg. You know the little speckled one that's got a bit of crunch to it, and it's
the candy.
candy.
Yep. My
The
youngest
little- but they're-
froths on them, and they're only really little.
Really small,
Yep.
small. They're a bit special. Like they're kind of like a
Yeah, they are. They feel
bit of a
little
specialty
bit like,
egg.
It's been a good year. It's
I might reward
that's good.
myself.
Yeah.
Don't mind if I do. Yeah. So, look, there's not too many surprises there, other than the fact that we're both
aligned on the
40-year-old
Humpty Dumpty
40-year-old men talking about Humpty Dumpty eggs.
Solid.
But so to recap, number 1, your standard egg, your smashable egg. You could just devour packets of them, and
Yeah, it's got to be Cadbury. Got to
the
be
hollow.
Cadbury.
Got to be Cadbury.
Yep.
Number 2, cream egg.
Yep. Solid.
Number 3, crunchy, small, large. I'm going like, and again, we won't necessarily have to call it out this time, but the big ones, just you break them apart and there's crunchy through the shell. Oh, mate. Number 4, Humpty Dumpty, full of Smarties.
Now.
Number 5, caramel anything, basically, is where you're situated with
Where
it.
my head's at.
Number 6, the mini egg, the speckled, special novelty, not novelty, but, specialty egg.
It's different.
Yeah.
It's different. Solid top 6.
That's a good top 6. That's.
Did we leave any out? You got any honourable mentions?
No, I think
I don't really.
I think we've covered everything I wanted to cover. Like I'm a fan of. So you sort of said crunchy. There's a couple that could slot into that. Cherry Ripe is one for me, but it kind of slots into that same mold. Big, small, or otherwise. It's all about what's blended into the the chocolate shell. So
yeah, no, I'd agree with that. And Cherry Ripe would be the runner-up.
the next
for
one,
crunchy. I think.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. But I think other than that, mate, I'm okay with it. I'm comfortable with everything else that's in there.
I'm very happy with that top 6.
But it's not just about us, Adam. Community, get in touch. What have we left out? What have we... I mean, there'd be something we've missed, and that's okay. And I feel unhealthy just looking at this list. But God, it's going to be good.
Feel as though I need to do a supermarket run.
Not fucking cheap, by the way.
No, definitely not.
Jesus Christ, what happened to them?
Can't be any more expensive than a fucking Golden Gay time.
Well,
Anyway.
apparently not. They haven't. Anyway. That hasn't changed either. A lot to get through tonight, Ads. So, what type of angler are you? Basically, you sort of asked based on the fact that you've nominated your own type of angler, which is you overthink things.
Scattered.
But what we're asking though is, tell us what type of angler you are, in the form of an emoji.
Ooh.
The Deep Drop Confessional. Thanks, Ads, for opening up. We appreciate that. It's a safe space here at the Deep Drop, so that's
I
always
feel better about it already.
Yeah, good. Arena fishing. We've brought it to life. Fucking get on board if you want in.
Yes.
Yeah, if you, oh mate, don't even, just get on it. And top 6 Easter eggs rounds us out. Ads, that's about us for tonight. I feel good about everything there. I'm excited about arena fishing. I'm excited about smashing a crunchy Easter egg and probably a Humpty Dumpty at some point.
Love it. Skittles, Smarties and shit everywhere.
Oh, everywhere, and I don't even care.
Nah, just don't let the dog in.
Yes, true. Well, thank you everyone for listening, and I hope you enjoyed some of this. And get in touch, as we said, across all the socials and the deepdrop.au. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Adam.
Thank you, Luke, and happy Easter to everybody. Peace.